I did not expect that. Folks, it was just a regular small town. Somewhere out there in this beautiful country we call the United States of America. Yep, just a regular small town. Just like all the other regular small towns that dot the landscape of this great nation of ours. Oh, it had its main street. It had its corner diner. It had its public swimming pools. And of course, it had its people! And so regular, so American, so normal and Norman Rockwellian were they, that you could look at them and tell everything you needed to know about them. For example, you could look at that lady on the end over there, and you could know that she is super excited because she just won something in a raffle. On the count of 3, I want you to scream out what she won in that raffle. 1, 2, 3!
Honey, chicken.
Yes, a chicken. This gentleman here, you could look right at him and you could tell that he just came back from someplace very exciting. On the count of 3, shout out where he came back from. 1, 2, 3!
Walmart!
Say again?
Zimbabwe.
Yes! He came back from Zimbabwe. Such a nice place, I had him say it 3 times. And this woman right here, you could look at her and you could know that right away she has something that she keeps in her attic that was handed down to her from her parents, that she treasures more than anything else in the world. Someone over there, shout out on the count of 3. What is it? 1, 2, 3!
Grandma!
What was that?
Grandma.
Yes, it's her grandma. That she keeps in her attic. That was handed down to her from her mother. Just a regular small town. Oh, I forgot. There is one way in which this town is not exactly like the others. And that is, just relatively recently, this small town was invaded by zombies. Thank you. Yes, that's right. This small town filled with regular people like this.
A woman who's super excited because she just won a chicken in a raffle.
A man who has recently returned from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe.
And a woman who keeps her hand-me-down grandmother in her attic.
That's right. These regular people were invaded by zombies. But not your ordinary zombie, oh no. These people were invaded by very unique, shape-shifting, brain-eating zombies from space! With the uncanny ability to take the shape of the first human being they devour. And so, at the top of our story, nobody in the town knows which one of them are just normal human beings. Which one, and only one, is the mythical zombie killer? The only person with the ability to kill a zombie. And which ones of them, how many of them, have already become zombies? Is anybody in the audience celebrating a birthday today?
Woo! Yes.
Won't you stand up, sir?
Amazing.
It is always important that the cards of fate are shuffled by someone with birthday luck. If I were you, I would use that wish to wish for a good outcome. Shuffle up the cards, sir.
Careful.
That was very thorough. You should applaud this man.
28.
My friends, sit back. Hold on tight to someone you love. For we are about to serve you up a tale composed with the entire alphabet of horror, in which A is for apocalypse, B is for brain buffet, and Z is for zombie.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program, The Real Housewives of Trailer Park County, with this breaking news. Police are receiving more calls from local residents on the outskirts of town who are reporting strange activity from various people who they claim to be zombies. The sheriff's office is stating that these calls should not be a cause for alarm, for they are most likely Halloween pranks. Nonetheless, a few animals have been found torn from limb to limb. Also, 2 missing person cases have been reported in the town next door. Residents are advised to call in any strange behavior that they may encounter. More news at 11.
Jim, I got the fire going on. The room should warm up nicely. How you doing over there?
Well, not great, Dennis. I've been going over these books all afternoon, and if we don't have the best Halloween ever, we're just not going to be able to keep the pumpkin patch open. We're going to have to sell the farm.
Dennis, we'll figure it out. You're the best engineer this town has ever seen.
I know, I just feel like maybe I put all my eggs into one basket with that trip to Zimbabwe.
But you're a worldly man. That trip to Zimbabwe opened your mind to new culture, new experiences.
I know, and I found these high-yield seeds. The best and biggest pumpkins like nothing else in the Tri-County area. But listen, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, kids these days, they're not interested in a pumpkin patch, you know? When Mom and Dad used to run this place, it was Americana. People would come out for the corn maze and the tractor rides, and now I think kids these days, they just want something scary. They want someone to jump out of the bushes and scream in their face!
Well, why don't we give them that?
I don't want to give them that!
Well, why not? Jim, we've been brothers ever since I was born, and we gotta do something lively, something with pizzazz. You're my older brother. You scared me when I was a little kid.
And remember how Mom and Dad reacted? I was grounded for weeks. Dad's practically rolling over in his grave hearing you say that. He always wanted a family-friendly pumpkin patch.
Rolling over in his grave. That should be the theme.
Are you kidding me right now, Dad?
Not our dad's literal grave, but we could have fake bodies in graves and pretend to come out like zombies or something.
Jeez, I don't know.
Jim, it's gonna do wonders. for the whole patch, and we don't have to sell the farm, and we could unite as brothers and do something together for once. You know, I gotta tell you, Jim, when you went to Zimbabwe and seen the world, I was lonely here and a little jealous.
Really?
Yeah, I've always looked up to you.
I'm sorry I didn't invite you. It was just it was a bit of a journey for myself, you know, a journey of self-discovery. I've only ever known this small town, and I thought, you know, where's the farthest place I could get from Aardvark, Alabama? And I looked down a map, and I thought, Zambia? No. That's not even far enough. Zimbabwe.
And you did that, Jim. So, now that you're back, and we're standing here in the living room that we both grew up in, the fire is stoked.
It's getting warm. You always made a great fire.
You know, Mom, she's having a hard time, you know? And I think that us as brothers uniting together will really liven Mom's spirits too. So let's do the whole rolling over your grave. Rolling around the grave. What's the word again?
Yeah, rolling over in your grave.
Yeah,
You got it.
Let's just do that. I could dress up as a zombie. You could.
You know, I haven't seen you this excited about the pumpkin patch in a few years.
I hated this place growing up. Every year, pumpkin pie, pumpkin seeds, pumpkin this, pumpkin spice that. You know, pumpkin jam spread on your sandwiches. Everything was pumpkin, everything, every day.
If there's one thing Zimbabwe taught me, and sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone, you know? Sometimes you gotta wear different clothes or try different cuisine. I tried a hot dog with mustard on it there.
That's so novel. See, you're so worldly.
Stop it. All right. Why don't you work up some ideas, and we'll try to introduce a little bit of scariness into the pumpkin patch.
Oh, I'm on it, Jim. I'm on it.
All right.
Yes.
It's good, isn't it? Good night out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Warm for my taste.
Too warm?
Too warm. October's supposed to be a lot colder. Supposed to cuddle up with a warm blanket.
Well, the one I'm making will be ready in a couple of weeks. By that time, you'll need it. So I guess we're just not going to talk about the elephant in the living room? Or should I say in the attic?
Well, Marla, you might as well have at it.
Have at it. Interesting choice of words. Well, your grandmother, my grandmother, your great-grandmother, well, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, is here to stay. Think of it as a gift, an inheritance of sorts. I inherited your great-grandmother.
Is that normal?
No, not at all. But I don't know if you remember my mother. You certainly do. She was an odd woman. And, well, knowing that she would predecease, my grandmother, her mother, she wrote her in the will.
You know what? I'm fine. We got married, you had to deal with my family's strange traditions. Like, for example, my family, we put butter on our sandwiches, and your family stores their dead in the attic.
I never knew that you could taxidermy a person.
Well, about that, that still needs to be done. And first of all, Jeb, I so appreciate your support of me in this.
Marla, I know that your grandma was important to you.
She was. She had a little temper about her, but she was sassy. And I like sass. I like
Yeah.
sass a lot.
Yeah, she passed it down to you.
Yeah,
You
I'm
wouldn't be
sassy.
here if it weren't for some of that sass.
No.
Cassie, just think of this as a bonding experience.
A family that taxidermies together stays together.
And you know what? One day you might even have an opportunity to do that to your own mother.
Well, I would be so proud. And you know what? Someday, I'm gonna live in your attic.
Can't wait.
Well, that's good to hear that you can't wait.
Well, not that I want you dead or anything.
Well,
I want
that's
you very much alive,
you
but can I not keep you in my attic though? Maybe in the shed out back.
Well, who knows? By
Cassie,
that time,
you seem a little apprehensive about the idea.
Most of my friends have cool hobbies with their parents. They go see movies, they go to bowling. I just didn't think my cool thing with my parents would be taxidermy.
then it's a novelty. That will bring you much popularity with your teenage friends.
That's what
They like someone who's real different, and
Yep.
doesn't do the same things they do.
Cassie, let me tell you a little story about when I was a kid. Come on, you used to like this one when you were little. Don't go inside.
Oh, this is a good one.
Now, when I was little, growing up near a swamp, my family, we were swamping folk. And I would go in there every morning